In 2017, the world marks the 40th anniversary of the late Egyptian President Anwar Sadat's shocking and inspiring trip to Jerusalem and his historic speech where he proposed ending 30 years of war between his country and the State of Israel. Today, we gather to acknowledge the efforts of Congress, and we also acknowledge the efforts of the many distinguished members of the staff to these members of Congress who help and are helping pass, hopefully pass, this important legislation. This luncheon is dedicated in memory of the late Dov Lautman, founder of Delta Galil, and we are indeed honored that we have with us here this afternoon Mr. Isaac Daba, the CEO of Delta Galil. Thank you very much for coming.
As co-chair of the Anwar Sadat Congressional Gold Medal Commission, I would like to thank you all for joining us at this inaugural luncheon.
With you by our side, continuing to guide my colleagues in the House and Senate through this process, I know that we can add President Sadat to a prestigious, short list of visionary leaders who have received a Congressional Gold Medal.
Now, Almighty God, we ask for your blessing upon the living, Sheyibadelu lahayim tovim, those who follow in the footsteps of the great, with values of courage, determination, and moral fortitude in the quest of peaceful coexistence through the promotion of economic growth. My very dear friends, and like family, Yvette and Isaac Daba.
As experience with the Arab Jewish communities. And I think together, especially today, to follow the footsteps of Allah Yarhamu Anwar Sadat, and to continue all of us to open up to all the Arab country for peace.
I would also like to thank our hosts, the Fundler Group, founder of the Anwar Sadat Congressional Gold Medal Commission, and our dear friend Ezra for arranging this event. While it's a very busy time, your participation here today is a testament to the enduring legacy of President Sadat. President Anwar Sadat envisioned a stable and peaceful Middle East. I repeat again, a stable and peaceful Middle East. This year marks the 40th anniversary of his famous speech before the Israeli Knesset, where he first proposed an enduring peace between Egypt and Israel.
Anwar Sadat had left with us the legacy that he should please do everything possible that once and for all there should be peace between us cousins.
Anwar Sadat, Menachem Begin, and Jimmy Carter showed us this is not an impossible task. But it does take courage.
Anwar Sadat was a true visionary who had great courage to change course and reach out to the Israeli people and seek peace. Dov Lautman was a deep believer in coexistence between Israel and its neighbors. Given the opportunity, he was a pioneer in establishing the first Israeli state-of-the-art manufacturing facility in Egypt. Dov believed in fostering peace through regional commerce. Today, Delta Galil employs over 3,000 associates in Egypt, and we are about to open our 4th facility in El Minya, Upper Egypt. As Prime Minister Begin said, we as Jews know how to appreciate President Sadat's courage. We at Delta Galil are very proud of our relationship with the people of Egypt and believe in the importance of awarding the late President Sadat with the Congressional Gold Medal.
The only peace there is between Egypt Israel, and Jordan, while the rest of the Middle East is up in flames.
Senator Cardin appreciates that awarding Anwar Sadat the Congressional Gold Medal underscores United States' dedication to upholding the peace treaty between Egypt and Israel.
To Saul Goldner, thank you for that very generous introduction. Thank you all for everything you do. I'm here because Ezra told me I had to be here. Ezra Freelander does incredible work bringing us together here on Capitol Hill, and we should never take that as a given. It's not easy to bring groups together here on the Hill. It's even more difficult to get Democrats and Republicans together on the Hill. And Ezra has been able to do that very successfully. So we are here for a common purpose. And that purpose is to say that the legacy of President Sadat lives on. And Mr. Ambassador, our distinguished ambassador from Egypt, I want to thank you for your incredible service to your country, but more importantly, the bridges that you've built here in the United States, in Congress. We thank you very much for everything that you have done on behalf of peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, would like to introduce a great lady, and she's there because God wants her to be there. U.S. Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
I especially want to acknowledge the Anwar Sadat Commission chairs Joseph Stam, Jack Avital, Saul Goldner, Andrew Friedman, and of course, Delta Galil CEO Isaac Daba.
Even a young child at the age of 12, watching on television, watching Sadat come to visit Jerusalem, you had goosebumps on your neck. Even as a child, it was very clear and easy to understand that how important and historic this was, and so I'm privileged to be involved with today's initiative. Before I introduce U.S. Representative Hank Johnson, just wanted to thank once again Yvette and Isaac Daba for lending their hearts to this important initiative.
Of course, we are here at this beautiful luncheon dedicated to Dov Lautman, the founder of Delta Galil, and a past winner of the Prize of Israel for his great contributions to the state of Israel. It's a testament to ourselves that we honor Dov. As many of you know, Dov was instrumental in forging peace from the pains of conflict by connecting Israel with its neighbors, and in the process, creating an economic network in the region. And his work was not simply in the economic realm. Dov funded investments to ensure educational equality between Jews and Arabs in Israel. I also want to acknowledge the presence of the current CEO of Delta Galil, Mr. Isaac Daba. This is a beautiful event.
House Appropriations Committee and the House Intelligence Committee. Please, Congressman Stewart. Thank you.
We're so happy that you agreed to be our leader and introduce this bill. Just wanted to share that.
It's an honor. Anwar Sadat was willing to stand up and in a remarkably humble way and a remarkably meek way prove to the world that he was one of the great leaders on the world stage at that time. He had a vision that no one else had at that moment. We're here to honor that vision. Thank you, all of you, for being a part of that. Ambassador, please thank your leadership and your people for being a part of that.
To thank the Congressman for your efforts and to tell us how could we help to get it over the finish line, or what do we need to do with Ezra to move this along so that hopefully by 2008, when we celebrate the 40 years anniversary of the signing of the peace, we'll be able to give Anwar Sadat's wife and posthumously his gold congressional medal.
That's exactly right. That is our goal. And Isaac, thank you, because the answer is what I've just described. Just individually reaching out, help us do that, and get more and more co-sponsors on this. And after a while, you reach critical mass, and then the hard work is done.
President Sadat was certainly a man that would stand with any one of us in time of turmoil, obstacles, struggles. I thought it was very appropriate to come and encourage the passing of the Congressional Gold Medal for him for not only his life, but for his legacy. Thank you all so very much for having me today.
Thank you. And with that, we conclude inaugural Anwar Sadat celebration luncheon. Please urge your members of Congress to co-sponsor the legislation. Your senators, thank you very much.